Welcome back to this week's Real Country File. I'm stood in this field of OSR, which we've obviously been looking at every few weeks for the last sort of 6 months. It is starting to look the colour of a hare. When it is the colour of a hare's back, that is the point where we will go through and desiccate it. Desiccate it will mean that some of these greener pods will kill off, and then they'll start to ripen, and it makes it even for harvesting then. We'll also probably put some pod stick up on it as well, which will keep these pods closed and stop them shattering. Anyway, coming up on this week's episode, Angela's been chatting to Harry Hough at Cheshire Show. So remember, we was his council farm a few months ago. Anyway, it was up for sale, so we're going to get an update on that. But some of you may have seen online this video from a fencing contractor who had a lucky escape. Anyway, we thought it was worth highlighting to a bigger audience. So here it is.
We put a rock spike in the ground to part the hole, knocked it in, and the next thing everything exploded and the ground lifted and we'd gone through the gas main.
I think we've probably all had an anecdote or know of someone that's hit or had a near miss with a pipe or cable, but this is one that was of a fencing contractor that was caught on video, and we're just so grateful for Elliot to share his time, because it's critical that people understand that anyone can hit a pipe or cable, and you can think you're working safely, you can not think about what's under the ground when you start work, but if you come into contact, this could be something that will change you and your family's lives forever.
We went for a farmer to put a fence up midsummer. We was working there for about a month prior to the accident. He advised us to put a fence up in the last field, one straight run, but 2 metres away from the hedgerow, for a footpath. So we'd started putting the fence and we got halfway down and we needed to put a strainer in. So we put a rock spike in the ground to part the hole, knocked it in, and the next thing everything exploded and the ground lifted and we'd gone through the gas main. I'm doing it today to raise awareness for other people, not to be in the same situation that I was in, and make sure everyone does a line search so it doesn't happen to anybody else.
That came back, what time was that? At 10:30 we did it on the 17th, and it came back at 10:35. So
It's been
five minutes. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's the key thing, is that it is just 5 minutes. You know, when you accidentally hit that one, that was all mapped, and that would have been the difference. So anyone can use the service, and that is literally anyone from those people working on a major construction site, so building major linear projects such as HS2 or a road network, or it could be someone replacing a garden fence or digging a pond in their back garden. I think the benefits of doing a search is, first of all, it's free, it's open to anyone, and it will help keep you safe. So we're here on site today and looking at a near miss or an incident where someone was very close to hurting themselves and maybe other people around them. And I think that really brings it into context that anyone can damage an asset. When you're doing a fence replacement or a new fence, that seems like a normal, safe activity until that last fence post was going in, everything was fine. It only takes that couple of minutes to do the search before the job starts to help keep you safe and make sure that is avoided in the future.
Enlightening stuff to anyone that might have pipelines near them. Anyway, let's go see what Angela's been up to at Cheshire Show.
So we're at the Cheshire Showgrounds now. It's the night before the show and we're in the cattle section. And I'm here with Harry, who's responsible for, well, what's your official title? Tell us what your role is.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so I'm the Chief Steward and Chair of the cattle section here at the Royal Cheshire County Show. This is my first year as Chairman. I've been Chief Steward for a few years, but first year as Chairman as well.
Okay, right. So what, in sort of general terms, what are your main responsibilities for this section here?
So I'm sort of responsible for getting entries in, the show days, how it all runs, making sure the classes run on time, sorting judges out, make sure everyone's happy, hopefully.
Yeah. You've just been telling us about a problem that you've had to deal with straight away.
Yeah.
So what's that?
Yeah, so we've had an exhibitor that's come from a distance, and they've forgotten to bring the milking unit. It's an easy, you know, got everything, all the things we've showing, and unfortunately they've forgotten to bring the milking unit. So all being well, we're going to sort that problem and it won't be a problem anymore.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so in show day, what sort of main breeds are there that are Cheshire Show favourites that you know of?
Well, this year at Cheshire we've got 2 national shows. So we've got the national show for the Dairy Shorthorn and for the Red Pole. So both of those breeds we've got really good entries in. So between the 2 breeds we've got over 100 head of entries.
And the winners of that then go on?
So then the winners on Tuesday, first day, they all have individual breed classes, and the winners of those classes will qualify for the interbreed on the Wednesday, day 2, and then they'll go into their relevant section. So there'll be an overall interbreed dairy champion and an overall interbreed beef champion.
Okay, right. So the show is Tuesday and Wednesday of this week.
Yeah.
So Wednesday night you can breathe a sigh of relief and have a bit of a liquid refreshment.
That's it, yes,
definitely. At that point then. But just give us an idea in terms of quantity, how many people will actually be exhibiting the cattle, or the numbers of cattle that are in the show altogether.
So this year we've got 510 cattle entered for the show, and that's across 80 exhibitors.
Right.
So it's slightly up from last year, about 150 up entries wise from last year, which is really good. It's helped probably by having the 2 national shows, but yeah, it's really good to see shows increasing. Last year was the first year back after COVID, so I think this year it's helping again.
Yeah, enthusiasm is back up to where it always was.
Yes,
now,
definitely.
Hopefully. Yeah, okay, brilliant. And for those of you, our viewers, who are sort of more eagle-eyed, you might remember that we had Harry on the Real Country File a few months ago, and we had a look round his farm, and there was, I think the foot trimmer was there on that day,
right,
actually, wasn't it? With Harry, who runs this place. So, Harry, just give us an overview. What's these very friendly cows here? What sort of stock have you got, and what's your setup?
Yeah, so we currently milk around about 180 cows, total heads, including young stocks, about 440. So we're mainly Holsteins and Ayrshires, pedigree Holsteins.
And you were telling us that you're on a county council farm, but that was due to be up for sale.
Yeah.
So what's the situation currently, and how are things working out for you?
Yeah, so we've currently got 9 months left of the tenancy, and yeah, we've not been able to find anywhere else to move on to or to stay, so it's looking like we're probably going to have to disperse the herd.
Right, so
probably
farm
in the autumn.
sale.
Yeah, that's looking like the most likely thing at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens on that front.
Gosh,
yeah, there's no news in the sense of us staying or anything
right,
like that.
and you've not bought a farm in the meantime?
No,
obviously.
I'm still waiting on my lottery numbers to come in.
Yeah, that's it. If anyone's got anyone to sell, then that would be good. But I mean, that must be a worrying time for you. Or have you got like a plan B if things don't come to
There's a
fruition?
couple of things that we've got sort of down the line that I'd look to do if it's not successful. A couple of jobs that I'd like to do if possible. So yeah, the one door closes, another one opens is what they say, isn't it? So yeah, it's
so you're putting a positive spin on.
Yeah, what's meant to be is meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think there's no point being too negative on it. Yeah, we've had a good time farming. If it is to end with, hopefully it ends on a high, and everything else.
That's it. I know when we spoke to you a few months ago, you were sort of planning sensibly that if the farm was sold and that didn't involve you, you were putting your heifers to a different type of bull, weren't you, rather than if you were going to think, I'm going to be staying here for a long time. So you've obviously been very sensible in planning for various different outcomes.
Yeah, it's trying to keep your sort of eggs in all different baskets, as they say. So yeah, we've kept the breeding the same, so we've been breeding to beef a bit more, but still breeding replacements as well. And it's particularly in the moment, the trade's quite good for dairy replacements, and also for beef. So hopefully it'll work in our favour and we'll work out okay.
Yeah,
hopefully.
That's it. Oh well, fingers crossed. Well, I wish you all the luck in the world for organising the show and your responsibilities here. If I get a chance, or if you get a chance, it would be lovely to film you, when the actual showing is taking place. But I appreciate you're going to have a really hectic schedule, aren't you? So yeah, you'll be looking forward to that beer on a Wednesday night.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure.
it, definitely.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Angela. Anyway, harvest is only just around the corner. We'll hopefully be harvesting within the next 10 days. Where's everyone else up to at harvest? Are things coming in fast? They certainly are around here, even though we've had the rain. Luckily, the wheat is just holding on. We've had around 50 mil of rain in the last sort of 3 weeks, which has saved the wheat yield, hopefully. Anyway, that is about all for this week. If you'd like to cover something that we've not covered, or you've got any ideas of topics, or you want to send us some content in, please do that. Thanks for watching this week, and we'll see you next time.